HEA Radio is Clear Life Combat. It's just after 10 o'clock on a Thursday. I have a guest that's zooming in. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we're going to find out everything that she has going on. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I am Danielle Guevara. I am a brown belt out of TX Third Coast MMA in Stafford, Texas.
All right. So you have an event that's coming up. It's March 19th in Texas City at the Booker T World Gym Arena where submissions on the shore. Are you excited for this event, and what do you know about it?
I am excited. I have competed for Subs on the Shore a couple times. I've done a super fight for them, and then I did the team event that they had here last year. Great promotion. I love how much they support women in jiu-jitsu, and so I'm excited to be competing for them again.
Whenever it comes to a super fight versus tournament, is there a preference that you have, and why?
I do prefer super fight. Tournaments, I used to compete a lot in tournaments, but as you get higher in rank, it's harder to find opponents in local tournaments. And I'm not currently enrolled in IBJJF, so super fights are how I can get opponents.
Yeah. What about that team event? How did that go? And was that a lot of fun for you?
It was a lot of fun. I definitely feel like my team, we probably would be considered the underdogs. There were a lot of, I was a purple belt at the time. My other teammates were purple and a blue belt. And I think from my understanding, most of the teams were brown and black belts. So I think it was a great experience for all of us just to get out there and see what we could do.
Having competed for submissions on the shore before, I guess, what was that experience like? And what do you think about a promotion that just features female only?
I think it's great. Again, I like the way that they run their promotion. It was a pretty look to the two events that I have competed with them. I think went really well. They were run smoothly, and you don't find too many. I'm not aware of too many promotions that do a lot of these like female only cards or majority women cards. So I just think it's great.
How did you get introduced to jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts? Where did that start for you?
So for me, I actually started off in Taekwondo when I was 9. So I've been doing martial arts pretty much my whole life. And then I was very fortunate at the Taekwondo school that I essentially grew up in order to get your black belt. They actually required that we cross-trained in a grappling art, and then also in like a weapons, like a Kali or JKD style. So that's how I got introduced to jiu-jitsu. And then from Indiana originally. And so when I moved down to Houston, I was searching for a martial arts gym, and that's where I found Third Coast MMA and really got into jiu-jitsu a little more.
Was the Taekwondo something that you wanted to do, or is this something, your family encouraged you to try, or how did you even start?
So my brother was originally signed up for it. We started at just our local YMCA, and then he didn't want to do it. He wanted to play baseball. And so instead of trying to get a refund and everything, they asked if they could just switch us. So I took my brother's spot, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, that's cool. So it was almost something that you just wanted to try. It's like, hey, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you compete in Taekwondo, or where did that competition and drive come from?
I did not actually. I did not compete in Taekwondo. I really did not get into competing until I moved down here.
Yes. Okay. And I'm guessing, because your last name's Guevara, and there's a wrestler that I follow called Sammy Guevara, but you being from somewhere else, I'm guessing you're not related to him?
No.
Do you know who that is?
I don't.
He's a big professional wrestling. It's an AEW, which is like WWE style wrestling, but he's a big deal. So you just don't see the name that much.
Yeah.
All right. So then whenever you got plugged in down here, you found a gym, and did the coaches and the professors there encourage you to start competing, or why did you try it?
Yeah, so when I first joined the gym, I was doing more of they had an MMA fitness class at the time. I had tried jiu-jitsu up in Indiana, but I hadn't really felt like it was for me. Came down here, joined the gym, and Professor Joe Solis kept, encouraging me. He was like, hey, you should come back to jujitsu, give it another try. I think you would enjoy it. And so I said, okay. And then after a little bit, it was, hey, do you want to try to compete? And so I said, okay. And and then it went from there.
Yes. So were you competing in grappling and jiu-jitsu, or did you start doing some of the striking stuff, or what order was that?
I started competing in jiu-jitsu first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then before we went on air, I think you said you've done some boxing and you've also done MMA. How did that go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been competing in jiu-jitsu, and then at some point I did say I did want to do at least just one cage fight. It was kind of a bucket list. Nothing that I really wanted to. I didn't want to make a career out of MMA, but I still wanted to give it a try. And so before we had me go into MMA, we said, okay, well, I hadn't competed in any form of stand-up, so that's where the boxing came in. So I said, let's get you into boxing. Do a boxing match, and then we can go into MMA from there. So that way I'd have experience competing in both a stand-up and a grappling.
Did you enjoy striking or training striking or even competing in those?
Yes. I enjoy boxing quite a bit. And so that's why I still train and compete in boxing as well. I just had a boxing match in September. And then after March 19th, I'm going to try to do another boxing match.
Okay, awesome. And then is there any plans to go back into MMA or go back in the cage?
No, I don't. I enjoyed the experience. I'm really glad that I did it, but I don't really feel the need to compete in MMA anymore. I think I'm just going to stick with jiu-jitsu and boxing.
Okay. And if I understand correctly, your husband, he competes as well, right?
Yes. He does do MMA. He's had, I believe, 4 fights. And then he does compete a little bit in jiu-jitsu. But yes, he also trains and fights.
Yeah. What's that dynamic like for you watching him compete, him watching you compete, and, just training together? How is that?
It's good. We met at the gym, and so, very, very supportive of one another. We don't actually train together. We just for us and our we like to train separately, but we do like that we're at the same gym. So knowing the same people, having that same, group of friends and gym family is very good.
How long did it take y'all to figure out that y'all really couldn't train together at the gym?
Not very long. It was just, try to roll together or try to maybe spar a little bit, but it's just it's easy. Probably more on my end, even it's easy to kind of to escalate. And so it was just better for us to, hey, I'm going to train here, you train over there. And then, but it also gives us something to talk about still in the evening. That's what we like is, if we're not partnered together, we can still go home and it's like we were at the same gym, but we had different experiences. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. And so then y'all really don't train at the house, or do y'all do any other kind of training?
We don't, even though we actually turned one of our rooms into a mat room, but using it a little bit more for like working out, or every once in a while, I might say like, hey, can I try something real quick? And we'll do that. Or we have gotten to a point where we can, he can hold mitts for me if I'm working on something for boxing. So that's definitely helpful.
What is it about Texas Third Coast MMA, I guess, that drew you there and kept you there, and what's it like training there, I guess, the culture and everything?
Yeah, so for me, the Taekwondo school that I kind of grew up in Indiana it was family run, husband, wife, and just the environment they created was definitely like, you are a part of the family. And so when I came down to Texas and I found Texas Third Coast, it's that, similar atmosphere. It's family run. They treat you like family, extremely supportive and welcoming group. It was the perfect fit.
And then you met your husband there, and I guess now you realize, hey, this is really our place, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What kind of goals do you have, I guess, with boxing? How far do you want to take it, and in your jiu-jitsu?
So I don't have any, in terms of boxing, I don't have any goals of becoming a professional boxer. For me, ultimately why I compete is because my ultimate goal is to be a coach and a leader. And so for me, I compete because I want to be able to tell my students, I've been where you've been. I know what you're going through. I know what it takes to prepare. And so that's my ultimate goal is I want to have the experience to be able to lead others.
Yeah, I would say not everybody's cut out to coach. And, I guess what kind of qualities, and it may be a weird question, do you have that will make you a great coach?
Yeah. So I've always kind of been in leadership positions, and even I've taught Taekwondo for many years. I used to actually be a PE teacher for a while, and then I just through there and just learning how to get that. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, but I do feel like I do have some skills and qualities that it takes to be a leader. Being able to work with different personalities and different types of people, and knowing, not everyone responds to the same type of coaching style, and being able to make those adjustments to help them, perform at their best.
Yeah. And I think one thing that's important, and a lot of great coaches will see this, is like, not everybody learns the same way, but not everybody's body does the same thing. And so it's like, it may be the same move, but you have to adjust it for the body types and the age. And if there's an injury, just being able to recognize that and help, and not just be like, hey, okay, here's what we're doing, do it,
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone has different goals too. So knowing what your students' goals are and being able to make those adjustments as well.
All right. So, again, here's a reminder. Submissions on the Shore is taking place March 19th at the Booker T. World Gym Arena in Texas City, and Danielle will be competing in a super fight. It is an ADCC rule set from what I understand. Are you familiar with the rules? Are you excited for them?
Yeah, my understanding it should be similar than from the last time I competed for them. I do like the format, and it's going to create some excitement. I like submission only events.
Yes. What other promotions have you had the chance to compete for?
So I have competed for a submission hunter for Eric Garcia. Been competing for him since I was a blue belt. So I've been on quite a few of those cards.
That's awesome. And there's just like ramping up again right now. I think they just had an event, and there's another one already scheduled. I think is it the day before Submissions on the Shore? I think I saw that the other day, and then there's another one in April. They're already booking. So Sub Hunter, there's a lot coming up as well. So it's exciting to see. For you, tournaments are hard to find opponents and brackets. That has to be exciting for these events to be popping up again, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to share, whether that's about your gym or competing or any goals in the future?
Not too much. Obviously, just want to give a shout out to my gym again, Texas Third Coast MMA, Professor Joe and Jason Solis. They are, amazing coaches, mentors, instructors, extremely supportive, and everyone there has just been very supportive, and appreciate the opportunity to come here and talk about them and talk a little bit about myself.
All right. Danielle, thank you so much for making time today. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Clear Life Combat.